Man and his eternal tribulation. Man is condemned to everlasting chain of supervision. The nature of man indicates that he is wicked, he is bad, he is a stench, he is selfish, he is insatiable, that is not trustable or confinable. It is really a blunder for Sartre, a humanist philosopher, said the man is condemned to be free. Man is not condemned to be free. Everywhere he goes, he is in chain because he is not responsible. He cannot control his nature. There is no doubt that God had created man as a free being. But the free will that Lord has given to man is his misfortune. He uses it to destroy his freedom and his own kind. Sartre, the theory of freedom, free will, which was the essence of man. It was God's will for man to be free, thinking he could control himself. The conception of man freedom by existentialism is different from the freedom that God intended for man. The Lord thought that man could control himself while giving Adam and Eve a free will, and it brought down the whole humanity race into destruction. Man cannot trust his fellow man, as Pascal said. If men knew what they say to each other, there would not be four friends in the world. Because the man is not satiable. Man is no good. Man is a kind of wealth for man, for his own kind. The existentialism, what advocate for freedom of man, have to understand that man cannot be free because of his aggression, wickedness against his kind. Being free is not subject to coercion. This is pure irrational to think that man is free and is subject to political authority. Freedom is an illusion. Democracy is a mask that political leaders use to disguise man. It's true that man is struggling to keep his freedom, but the social contract, the social law, prevent him to do so. Karl Marx said, "For the production of man transform nature from which it came." This is an important point that cannot power into the idealist. Man, because of his ignorance, has created his own misery, his own destruction, his own tribulation. For example, many political leaders have left their country to take exile because they could not control their temptation, their avarice. They determine what they are. What currently operating in the Middle East, Haiti, in Santo Domingo, in countries of Latin America, the continent of Africa, to name a few, demonstrate, justify political leaders who are men are irrational, unreasonable. They are the monsters that are transforming the world into a stable for behaving its own kind, a hell to toss his fellows. Political leaders who are men transform the world as a cage where they are raising animals. The man does not have the ability to judge neutrally. He always act according to his personal interests. He is unreasonable, irrational. Man is not worth to be free. He is not the master of his action. Pure and simple. It is not necessary for man to be free because his bestial nature led him to act unpredictably, to lead him to act as an animal. Man shows that he cannot live without the chain of laws. In fact, many tribes that have no established laws, but there are customs. If the law did not exist, it would be totally anarchy. No, it will be no stability. It is not beneficial for life in society to live without the law. It is like a chain to tie man. It is basic in every society. I'm not afraid to trumpet that we live in a huge barn, which is the world in which there are animals that cannot live, that cannot coexist peacefully. The world is like a jungle, or the ring of the fittest, where there are the neutral monsters. It is not without reason that I trumpet that man is a neutral monster, because of his ability to hurt his kind, his conception of life, his desire for conquest, and his economic needs or ambition lead him to act and react beastly. It is apparent in the society that we live in now. The men live the monstrosity that gradually is slipping to his interior, whose moral aggression justifies his bestiality. It is the worst enemy of his fellow man, his own species. Protos and Thomas Hobbes said, man is a worth to man. The man only fight to protect, to seek the protection of his private sphere. And he can do everything in his possession to protect his interests. When he protects his interests, he becomes unconscious. And this state is more common in political leaders. They want all for themselves, but nothing for the people. One day this will change. You have to be dishonest, unconscious, as are all politicians, to not understand that the situation will not last for long. Nota bene, Gustave Le Bon said, from the beginning of history, the relationship between the weak and the strong peoples were exactly those of the game with the hunter. Thank you. May God bless all.